Guys, weird controllers, what we consider weird, are actually what's pushing us forward.
Welcome back to the Multitap Chat, where we're talking about controllers and all the weird and wacky things they do. What stuck around? What didn't?
What came back?
And we're here too.
All right.
Hello.
It's us on
Howdy.
this new show that I've never been on.
So
Yeah,
Quinn,
My first time. Did you know that?
It's the first time since last episode.
Yeah, it was my first time here.
Right.
Multi-tap,
This,
right? Isn't that what
you
we're
got
calling
it,
it?
multi-tap chat.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Quinn, tell us what you like about the Dreamcast controller.
My God, the Dreamcast controller is perfect in basically every single way, but I'm going to start with ergonomics. Instead of having like actual handles, okay, it has these little grooves here,
Yeah.
okay, which means that you have the ability to completely support it with literally nothing. You don't have to have any grip. It makes it feel like nothing in the hand. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The actual like curve of it fits really well in the palm too. I love the ergonomics are perfect. The thumbstick here, right? The joystick. It's like textured, which gives it like really good traction. Feels great in your hand. It has great tension. Now again, this is a new one, so it does lose a little bit of the tension, of course, but that's just standard. I know what most of you are probably gonna say. Soft, kind of not very clicky buttons. All right, that's pretty standard for this era, unfortunately. Okay, there's a lot of very not so clicky buttons, but listen to this. Probably can't pick that up, but the triggers are wonderful.
Were they
These
real
are very
analog
nice.
triggers, or were they just
No,
like,
they were real analog.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Which is why racing games on the Dreamcast are absolutely perfect. And then, of course, it has the VMU inside.
No, it
that,
doesn't. That
Well,
one
yours
doesn't.
doesn't,
What are
but
you
the
talking
VMU
about?
is a
What's a
wonderful
VMU?
What's a VMU?
little memory card that has a screen on it. It displays your menus. You can take it
to an
out
arcade?
and play games with
Here it
Take
is
to an
right here.
arcade.
Look at
Are
that.
you kidding me?
So
Brilliant.
Devon,
Yeah.
what do you like about the Joy-Cons?
I like magnets, guys. I really like magnets.
Oh my God. Keep
And-
that away from
and
me.
look,
You'll erase
Put it on
my
your
memory.
phone. Ty's mic cuts out.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing: is that I've always been a Joy-Con fan. I think the Joy-Con is like the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Wii Remote and Nunchuck was amazing. Like motion technology, incredible. What sucked about the Wii Remote and Nunchuck that no one can possibly argue that was any good and won't try to do later?
No joysticks.
There's only one joystick and very few buttons. So what if you married a good controller with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck? You get the Joy-Con. Doesn't this look like a Dreamcast controller that's just also a Wii Remote and Nunchuck?
Yeah.
No, I mean, the theme of the Joy-Con is versatility. Like, this is just a regular controller, like with grips. And, you know, it feels like a regular controller. But then, like, you can also do the separated. And I think motion control doesn't get enough credit for being as good as it is. I think a lot of people sleep on motion control because they think of the Wii, they think of waggle technology and being forced. Joy-Con, great. Better version of the Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
I like that it looks like a little dog when it's
But
all
specifically
does.
the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con.
Yeah,
I was
they
a fan
have
of
it improved.
Joy-Con, but I was like, this is too small, so I very rarely used
Oh,
it.
true.
I think the Joy-Con
Bigger,
2
yeah.
is a much
Yeah, I do.
better feel in the hand.
Yeah, you're a crazy person.
So Ty, what do
honestly.
you think of the PlayStation 1 controller?
Here's the thing. I'm big about controllers that are legacy. Of all the controllers here, mine's the only one that has any features that stuck. No, the thing about the PlayStation 1 DualShock specifically was that it introduced this weird little concept of a second joystick. And Sony's kind of famous
don't
for
like how
just
you're
taking
holding that.
taking whatever. Oh yeah, taking whatever Nintendo did and just doing two of them. And in this case, it just kind of worked. They had two rumble motors, where Nintendo 64 had one. They had two
DualShock.
joysticks. You can click in the joysticks. All these are things that stuck around and are on it's on that controller.
Sure.
It's not on any of the other controllers we brought today.
Not at
But
all.
it's on
Not
it's
at
on
all.
the
Weird
it's on
wacky.
the important ones. No, it was just such a cool idea. You don't with the N64 you had to plug in a rumble pack or you had to, and you had a joystick, and that was innovative. I love the N64 controller for that. And then Sony just built it all right in. And it's evolved very little in terms of ergonomics.
I understood some of those points pretty well.
Much
So-
to
I got-
some chagrin.
I got-
After that opening,
but I was
thing,
about to
you
say,
were just gone.
but you
was
did
gone.
something that made
Button
me
was gone.
check
You
out
were
pretty
just
quickly.
gone. Yeah.
You
Fair.
you pervertedly
accident.
handled a controller.
Ethan, what do you like about the SNES Mouse?
It's a mouse.
Yeah, that's
You can
true.
Click it. Listen to this clicky sound.
That's gonna pick
Excellent.
up. But
Excellent sound. Listen, here's the thing. Me and Devon brought the same controller. There's only one difference, is that this controller has games that you can play with.
yeah, that's right.
That use
That's
that
right.
A mouse.
function that actually
True.
work as
Yeah.
a mouse. I like
Mhm.
this controller because it represented the kind of first mainstream like success to get kids to play games that are not just a game, right? To get them to think a little wider about what their console is for. Because like the duck hunt like gun, like the super scope, that is to play a game where you shoot ducks and you get a score. And there were other games where you just used the controller to aim and shoot. The mouse is nice. It's fun. It changes the way you play. You kind of sit on the floor when you're playing it. You have like a little table or something you're playing on. But also, it changes what you think about a game as on a home console and engages you differently than other games do. It makes you think about, it's basically what like all of Nintendo's strategy when they started like really leaning into the like gimmick for their consoles. The touchscreen is the same thing. You think about it as a
True.
tablet, like you can draw with it.
Yeah.
And the Joy-Cons are the same way, motion control, same way. You can do more with this. It opens up the world. The first time we changed.
I'm
the
unsurprised
console
that your point was more philosophical than the controller itself.
Yes.
Very,
Good mouse.
very classic.
yeah,
Ethan.
I mean, it's
It's a
not,
fantastic
it's-
clicky
I gotta be
mouse.
honest, it's not actually a very good mouse. I mean, we
we'll
had,
go over that in a minute. Harrison, what
Okay,
did
I
you
mean-
bring?
I brought the Wiimote and Nunchuck. Is kind of similar to Devon's point.
But worse.
About the
picks all
Joy-Cons. It is something about the like ergonomic of like holding them apart. Like if you just like sit on the couch and just like hold them to your sides, it is such a nice feel. I feel like the Wiimote has a little bit more ergonomic design than the Joy-Cons, because the Joy-Con is like a flat piece of plastic, whereas the Wiimote and Nunchuck has some curve to it.
feels
so
great.
It feels better to grip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It also, like the Joy-Con, you can put it on its side, and you got like a little NES controller. The A and B button being
Perfection.
in the same spot, but
Parallel
on
sides.
different
Mhm.
sides of it.
Yeah.
It's very nice feel to it. The motion controls on this, I feel like, are a lot better than the Joy-Con. But that's just because
That's because you
it
don't
uses
use
an
the
actual
Joy-Con.
IR sensor.
Oh, the pointer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
He's not talking about Wii Motion Plus.
I thought you meant the actual
No.
like gyroscope.
He's talking
I was
about
like,
he's talking about
obviously
aiming
not.
at the screen,
No.
which I do understand what you
I also
mean.
do think the gyroscopic controls are better on the Wii.
You are
though.
incorrect
That's
on that one, I'm
insane,
afraid.
That
But,
one-
but
You
then
simply-
again,
I
like-
have tried using the gyroscope in Breath of the Wild recently, and it's
oh well,
not great.
that's because that's
Yeah, I
mainly
don't-
used for aiming.
I was about to say, I don't know, sure.
That's mainly used for aiming. But like
Okay.
play
The
Switch,
Skyward Sword
like
Sure.
Switch Sports is a great time.
for
Yeah.
for aiming in like Splatoon and like using your bow in Breath of the Wild, it's fine. But like when I'm having to use it for the like some of the like puzzles that like require you to tilt it.
When was the last time you played the Wii?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Where did we get you off
Like,
the street?
we're not even five. We're about 5 minutes
What?
in, and we're already clowning on someone
One of
with
the
their
things I
controller
really
design.
like about the Wii Remote Nunchuck
Yeah.
is I'm a big fan of asymmetry. And I really
Yeah.
like that the Nunchuck and the Wii Remote look different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that is
I'll
not-
kick off the open discussion with the
okay.
fact that like
no, I wanna.
that
No, I want to.
with the fact that like the Joy-Con, the part of what I love about them started with what you're talking about with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, where like you have like the separated control, just that feel of like the separated device. And
I
two,
did not realize how tired my shoulders were until I got the.
I know, yeah.
Kind of spoils you.
Well,
Yeah,
I remember when I went, because like I was a big Nintendo kid, and so like the Wii was my main. I know.
I thought you were Tails.
I know.
You still are a big
Yeah.
Nintendo kid.
I'm an even
right.
bigger Nintendo
let's say,
kid. I've
yeah,
grown
right.
about 2 feet.
2 inches.
The you don't know how tall I am, guess.
don't know how many
I've been
feet
at
it has
this
to this
table.
If I let me tell you something.
You have no clue how many.
If I didn't slouch, okay,
Growing up
it'd be a
with
big
that.
reveal.
Actually, go down in the comments. People have been subscribed the longest. Who do you think the tallest Power Up brother is? I have to know.
I have to know.
No
That's a-
spoilers.
that's a big
Who
one.
do
That
you think
is a
it is?
difficult question. Actually,
You don't have to count my hair.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing is that like I remember when I was like going to other consoles and I would be holding the controller after using Wii Remote and Nunchuck forever.
Yeah.
And I would do like this, like I would literally try to pull the controller in half so that I could like relax. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to hold it like this.
You get used to it.
And I agree with you, Harrison,
You're a
that
baby.
the Wii Remote
You're a baby with
is
little,
more ergonomic
What-
and comfortable. But it's the price
is.
of
You can
versatility.
You can buy a grip for the Joy-Con that makes it, I think,
There
comparable
is
to the Wii
exact-
Remote, but you do have to have a
Hey,
grip.
so you know how I have to rest my arms, when I'm holding a controller, which is not often, which is amazing because my arms are so much smaller than yours.
Right.
Watch this. So I'm holding it. Oh man, my arms are so tired.
Insane.
Crazy.
Do you always have a table in front of you when you play video
Oh,
games?
sorry, lap.
Oh, crazy.
Literally, if there's any
Crazy.
surface, couch arm.
You don't.
My favorite.
I mean, are you kidding?
My favorite
the
feature,
arm of a couch. You literally, there is
I used to
effectively
look.
no.
I'm a millennial. I sat on the floor to play
Yeah,
video
and-
games in front of my CRT.
I'm a millennial. I play video games standing up on my stair stepper.
All right. Well, I'm a boomer, and if I was sitting in the rubble, of society,
Yeah.
I could sit it on the rubble. There is no circumstances in which case I cannot make it work for me to rest my arms on something.
I do like the
This
freedom
is-
of just moving your arms where
Yeah.
they lay. That is
Yeah.
fun. It's not a necessary thing, but it is kind of nice. My favorite feature of the Joy-Con though is the IR sensor. I really like the infrared
It can-
sensor.
it can
Not
tell.
I
on the
hope it
Joy-Con
sticks
too.
around.
It's not on these.
That's
Well,
the
right,
gag.
you've got a.
No, the
you've
mouse
got
though.
a,
I do
No,
think
I
it's
do love
funny.
the mouse.
I do think it's funny that this one
You're
controller
insane. Everybody,
right here.
Everybody here's a crazy person. What do you
I
mean
do
you
think
like
that
the mouse?
I do think that it's
On the
insane.
Joy-Con?
You like the mouse on the Joy-Con.
No.
I
do.
like that it has a mouse.
Can I look
Yeah.
at the? Oh, you like the concept of mice?
Well, I
Of
played
mouses?
I played Metroid Prime with the.
Can I
the
see
mouse.
this?
No, it
Which
is.
one has a mouse?
Both.
Is it both? Can you
Both.
hand me a right one?
Yeah.
Let me look at this here.
Yeah. See, isn't that
This
great?
is a wonderful. These
that
ergonomics
great?
are great.
It's not the most
I
ergonomic
definitely-
mouse. I did
let's
have a
cut.
grip
Let's cut
for
back to
mine.
Quentin doing this with the Dreamcast.
Really?
controller.
No.
Look at it, genius.
I can absolutely defend the
Quentin,
ergonomics
that's the
of
one
this
thing I will
controller.
say-
This is
the
a
one
shark
thing I will say
fin.
about the Joy-Con.
What? So what?
Here's the thing I'll say about the Joy-Con.
It is smooth on the back. If you want to
that's
talk
true.
to me about ergonomics,
It
I will
benefits
cast you into the
from-
sea.
It benefits from getting a nice, like, they're cheap, they're just a couple of bucks, like some kind of dock for it.
Oh,
So like
yeah,
I had
for
a
the
little,
mouse.
I had a little grip for a mouse grip when I
Yeah.
played with a mouse, and then you can have grips
You
where
bought
they're
a
easier to hold.
real
peripheral
question
to
is-
make.
No, I 3D printed that one.
You had to 3D
Oh.
print something to make the controller good.
I mean, you could buy one.
I also prefer 3D
Yeah.
printed something.
You can
3D printed
buy.
PlayStation controller.
Yes, I did.
The real question is, when are we getting the Pro Mouse?
I mean, you
But you
could
can play
argue this
Smash
is the
Bros.
Pro
That's-
mouse.
that's
No,
like,
no.
Oh, I see what
That's
you're
the
saying.
controller. Then there's a Pro controller.
Yeah,
We need a Pro
Oh.
Mouse.
because the Pro controller doesn't have a mouse.
Bingo.
That's one of the.
Oh,
You know, actually-
It
Mouse.
has a headphone jack.
They released the thing that looks like the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Right. Couldn't they just release that exact mouse,
They could.
but for the Nintendo
my
Switch
favorite,
2?
my
and it be
favorite
wireless?
thing about this
Oh.
mouse, I still remember it after
Well,
all.
I
of the
mean,
ball.
it has a USB-C port. Like the Switch 2 has a dock for a USB-C, so you
Yeah.
could just
but
like
nothing supports the mouse.
you
No,
could
it
just
does. Everything does.
plug in a
Not
mouse.
Everything does.
I don't know.
Everything that has a mouse feature
me-
supports a mouse. Actually, editor me. Look that up.
Yeah, look
Look
up
it up.
if,
Am I right?
if Metroid Prime
Yeah,
3 has mouse support.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, because
I mean that like you can play Mario Paint on NSO with a USB mouse.
That's-
so here's a fun
I meant
fact
that
about
mouse.
Metroid Prime
Anything that
3.
required that mouse.
I tried plugging mouses, computer mouses, into my Nintendo
Or mice.
Switch
You can say
to
computer
try
mice.
and make it work. And wouldn't you believe I couldn't play Metroid Prime?
You were trying to play
3.
Metroid Prime 3 on a Switch?
Metroid
That
Prime.
was your
How would
first
you even do that?
problem.
Yeah, I put Jack and Daxter
you know
in
what?
my air fryer.
Let me
tried
tell
to
you
play
something.
too. It also
And the mouse didn't work?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
This mouse didn't work.
I wish that I'd been playing Metroid Prime 3 after what a stinker
fryer?
Metroid Prime 4
Well,
was.
let's talk more about controllers. Like,
Should have put that in the air.
I'll
fryer.
say you made a good point about the DualShock that applies to all of these is that it was weird and people forget that.
People forget.
Yeah.
So when PlayStation first came out, like I said that they do this thing where they take what Nintendo did and they just do 2 of them.
Which is
so like shoulder
true.
buttons was the thing that they just did 2 more.
Yeah, let's do 2 more.
Right. That's what they did. And then that controller didn't last very long because it turns out in 3-dimensional games you need a D-pad isn't going to cut it. But then they came out with the DualShock, which was really innovative. It had 2 joysticks, and people were like, I remember there's a review for an early game that uses a twin stick shooter that was like, this will never catch on. It's impossible.
Yeah, like
to
it was an Alien game.
Yeah,
I think
it was Alien Resurrection, and they're like, this just doesn't work. It will never catch on, but it turns out
Clearly
like
Turok
I
is
gotta
the
be.
future.
Let's be fair to that guy. He was playing the
three
Alien
hands.
Resurrection game, which is not exactly
the best example.
of the
But
DualShock.
But this stuck around. The ability to click in the sticks, that stuck around. The multiple rumble. They were onto something.
But also,
and
I
what
mean,
they were onto was just doing 2 of
do you
them.
Well,
remember-
Ape Escape utilizes
Ape
the
Escape
DualShock
is
maybe the best.
wonderfully,
Yeah, maybe the best.
and the fact that Ape Escape has effectively kept that exact same control scheme through every generation of it is illustrative of the fact that that was a perfect launching point.
Do you remember
Not broke.
the like early days of like future video game console speculation where people's like ideas for like what the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 controller would look like would just be the DualShock but with like more buttons?
Yeah.
That they would just keep adding buttons to it.
Well, I'm gonna say, Ty, you're the only person that has a sensible pick. Yours is quite sensible.
There's also something crazy about this controller, I think, as well. That is easy. A lot of things about this you pointed out are easy to forget. The jump from the PlayStation 1 regular controller to the DualShock might be the biggest in history.
It was huge.
The original PlayStation controller is about on par with the NES controller on amount of
Ergonomics
functions
and-
and ergonomics. They had a box. They put 2 circles and a handle.
I kind of think it's worse than the Super Nintendo controller.
I remember
It has, like,
picking
2
up
more
the
buttons.
original.
The build quality is a little.
Do you know
The D-pad is way
You know
worse.
what's really crazy is we haven't talked about the Dreamcast controller at all.
Go for it,
we're
Quintin.
going-
We literally
we're-
haven't
yeah,
talked
go
about
for
winding
it.
up.
We have like a minute left here.
Hall effect joystick, didn't it?
The Dreamcast? No, I think the Sega Saturn did though.
Never mind.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast. I mean, I don't know I don't know how everybody didn't pick the Dreamcast controller again.
We weren't allowed to pick the
We
same
weren't allowed to
controllers.
pick the same one.
We should have all picked
We were
it.
trying
We
to
should.
diversity.
I mean,
Let's talk about the VMU.
the
Yeah.
VMU
The
is
most
brilliant.
illustrative part of
Well,
your
because
And
the thing is that
coolest
the-
thing
hold it
on
up to your
controllers
camera.
Ever had.
The thing is that the Dreamcast controller is innovative, remains ergonomically sound.
Yep.
Of its era, of course. Like I say, doesn't have maybe the best buttons. Nice, comfortable triggers.
I'm kind of alone in this, but I don't mind single joystick controllers.
But I was gonna say, now when we play something, we're always kind of like putting our thumb here,
Sure,
going like,
right.
where is the second, joystick,
Sure.
right?
That wasn't really a thing when the Dreamcast came out.
But that wasn't a thing when the Dreamcast came out.
No.
So
And games were designed around it. I will say the only awkward part was that like the N64 controller had a way to move the camera, and the Dreamcast often didn't.
I mean,
You often had to like hold a trigger and then push the buttons,
Yes.
Or the triggers were the camera.
or the trigger was the camera. That was like
Yeah,
messed up
I mean, you can
on
also
Dreamcast.
use the D-pad in some games.
Some games,
to-
like
to
Sonic
adjust.
Adventure and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you turn the controller around again real quick?
Mhm.
I want to point
Right
something
here.
out.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about ages ago. We talked about one of the things that got like this kind of vanished in the modern world is the like every console having a different unique flavor. They all had this like
Yes.
feeling to them. God, that controller just looks like you're playing
Yeah,
a
takes you
an
back.
arcade
Yeah.
machine on an alien spaceship.
Yeah.
It is so like uniquely Dreamcast that you can't mistake it for anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
You know,
Real
like,
quick, talking about the VMUs.
Go for it. Yeah.
You have 2 slots for memory cards in here. For
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure it's being put up. But you had memory cards that had screens on them.
Yeah.
And
They look like little Game Boys.
They look like little Game Boys. You plugged it in, and this slot here is open, and it would display different things, menus.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd have animations.
Honestly,
right?
that needs to come back to modern controllers, like little screens.
But well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what was amazing about it is you take it out, and there were games where the memory card then served as a portable game because it had buttons and a D-pad on it,
Yep.
and you could play
They could
games
lock
on
into
it.
each other, and you could like
Play
fight
games,
and-
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And so, I mean,
Cockfighting in video games, bring it on.
it was just such an innovative idea
It
to
is.
have not only memory cards that can connect and play games outside of this, but also have a function in the controller.
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
that's a great way to send it off is, guys, weird controllers, what we consider weird, are actually what's pushing us forward. Like if Sony didn't decide to be weird, we wouldn't get twin sticks. If Sega hadn't decided to be weird, we wouldn't we still don't have it. We need to be more weird is what we're trying to say.
The fact that no one has caught up on this
I know.
controller, like
The Xbox, it ergonomically,
It is very similar
It's very
actually
similar.
think Microsoft helped design some part
Something
of the
like that.
Dreamcast or something.
Might have
Something
been.
like that.
Because the Xbox controller used
Yeah,
a lot of that.
might
Guys,
be.
go down in the comments, pick one. Tell us which one won our little
tell us
battle.
an interesting fact
Or just-
about
yeah.
your
We all
favorite
know.
tell
controller.
We all
tell
know.
us why.
We already
it's
know which one won.
Obviously, Ty's pick.
This
It's
man's not even going for his
listen.
Dreamcast.
No, it might
Yes.
because
Guys,
everybody loves that.
Comment down below and
Mine's better.
subscribe.